Okay guys, so I've just knocked that out. I've made this little brass bush pin here just to knock it out. I've just knocked out the, called the gudgeon pins, are they? Anyway, the pin that holds the piston on to the conrod. So that's off now anyway. So the EX is facing upwards. And just to make a note of that, when I put it back on. I think that's the X is exhaust and it's faced the exhaust point port, obviously. When you put it back on, make sure it goes that way. So this is off now so I can do some measuring. So I'm going to put all that to one side, get the piston and the cylinder and give them a good clean. And I'll put the gudgeon pin to one side as well. Alright guys, I've just got back, been away with the family, a little holiday, and carrying on with the chainsaw build. So I might have the clip, I'll see if I ever put it in. I knocked the gudgeon pin out, I think it's called. Obviously holds the piston onto the conrod. And this needle bearing's in there, and I stupidly lost some of the needle bearings, but it does look like it's damaged, to be fair, because some of them just did fall out. It looks like they have little tails on them either end, and obviously some of them are broken. So a bit of a mither, but I managed to source the correct size bearings, hopefully, to replace them. Needle bearings wasn't too bad. They worked out at £9 each. So these are a press fit, apparently. I needed to remove this anyway to give it a good clean, because obviously you've seen the state of the piston. Top's all gunked up, and there's a bit of scoring, I think carbon scoring on the sides here. So just want to clean that up with about a 600 grit paper, just so you can pick that up with your nail, you can feel it. So I'll just lightly do that, not too much. Like I say, it's more the rings that's the crucial fitting on these, it isn't the piston. And I need to hone the engine bore out, and then it can go back together. And I found some spray actually, so I'm not going to spray the engine, because obviously the cooling fins, I think that just from what I've seen other people saying on stuff on forums, and that it interferes with the cooling, effectively cooling of the chainsaw, which you don't want. Obviously you want it to dissipate the heat as much as possible, because it's going to cook themselves. So I'll probably leave that, maybe try and scrape some of the paint off it if I can, wire brush it or whatever, I don't know. And then the rest of it, just tie it up, respray the bits that want respraying. Just because at the end of the day, I want a nice chainsaw, solid runner that fires up, runs well. I'm looking at changing one of the, because obviously it's on points at the moment, so I'm looking at getting the ignition modules you can buy. They're at £10, and it just gives apparently a brighter spark, more consistent, makes it a more efficient engine. I've actually put one in the top. See that giant chainsaw up there, that old McCulloch? There's one in there because it wasn't sparking originally, and that's how I got around that. That'll be a future project. So what I need to do is, I don't want to damage this piston, aluminium. I need to make some sort of tool then to press this out. So it's hollow in the centre. There you can see it's hollow, and obviously I need to stand it upright to press it in, press the other one out. So I need something to support it here, and then something to support the inside of that so that doesn't collapse and break, because it is quite a thin casting. And I've only got one of these, so I don't really want to muck it up. And then press these new ones in, and then put it back together after I've cleaned it. So we're going to get on with that. Everyone, so hold on, let me just put this stuff back. Obviously the chainsaw job, I said before how I buggered up the needles. Well, I say I buggered them up, they fell apart effectively. I thought I'd messed up. Turns out, after talking to Sam, the bearings weren't shot anyway. So the needle bearings inside this, sorry you can't see the piston, you can just see the needles there. And I pushed the pin out, I knocked it out with a little brass thingy, and obviously it all started falling apart. So these, I don't know if you can see them very well,
There we are. Right, if you notice these two, like little tiny rolling pins, they obviously, the way the bearings go in, the races get, or the external race gets crimped and holds this in. Now some of them were missing, like the tails. I don't know if you can see that from there. That one there. So a ruck of them have fallen out. Obviously, they're no good. I've since got the new bearings, which you've obviously seen before. I've already mentioned it on the video. So what I've just quickly done, nothing really massively technical, is I've just made some tooling, 2 bits of pipe, tube, to allow me to press these bearings out. So this is just an internal piece, because obviously the bearing, the piston is quite thin. Assuming it's some sort of casting, it's going to be obviously not going to take a load of pressure. I have to push these out. So I've made that piece that just slides in there and supports internals, and then this piece obviously goes there. So supports it, so when I push it through, I will obviously put the new bearing in and press these old ones out and push the new one in. I'm just going to use them. Stop anything from collapsing or breaking. Clean up the piston. I'll probably clean up the piston while the bearings are out, obviously. And get it all cleaned up, ready. Put them back in. And then Sam's coming round maybe tomorrow evening, and we're going to tone the inside of the cylinder. I didn't try. We got set up with this one that I ordered, and it's just not big enough because it's got what do you call them now? I can't remember the name. I can't remember. Either way, it's got gaps in the cylinder. Can't remember. It's just slipped my mind. Sam will say yes tomorrow anyway. He's got much larger stones. These are about 100mm, where these are obviously like 20mm. So this won't do the job. But his will, and we'll get that done. He's going to show me cross-hatching, and we can explain to you guys as well, because it's new to me. And I'll get a little video of that. Now I've not got a press here. Sam was saying you could possibly use the pillar drill, which would make sense because it's a rack and pinion, so you're going to get some sort of either that or the mill. Probably do it with the pillar drill, to be fair, because it's such a small little bearing. So I might try that. I'll get you set up and give that a whirl. See how we go. There you can see right there. Trying to set the. Got a good idea there, roughly what we're doing. So let's try this out. We have there. Yes. It's pretty bloody tight. Whoa! That went with the band, didn't it? Okay, so that's one out. Let's go for the second if we can. Bingo! There we are. One bearing free piston. Why is it so dark? Let me spin you around. Or it's awful, isn't it? Why are you so dark? It's a bit too bright, but there we are. So press fit. I can go ahead and clean this up now. I'm not going to take the rings off because I have no idea where to get the rings from. There's the bearings. I'll probably keep hold of the good one. One of them is not knackered. Yeah, that one's fine. It's just this one. It's got all the silver bits and the needles hanging out of it. I'll keep the other one for, why not, just for the sake of it. We'll give this a little cleaning. Right, so we've got 600 grit, and I'm just literally lightly going over. Obviously don't touch the rings. Okay, I'm not going to do any more than that because that's definitely, I can feel the difference there on my nail. You can still hear it, but the trouble is you're always going to have them grooves there, obviously. Just clean all that gunk off, I guess. I have these pads that I use for cleaning off stainless, from welding stainless, obviously. This is, in fact, let's try it without the actual grinder first. It's going up great. There's a little nick, tiny little nick on it. Try it. You guys see? It's going up a treat, that. It's not marred the face or anything, it's not left any indentations. It's about those little marks where I have to slowly scratch them out, but I can wait. I'm not going to jump the gun there. Get it off first. You know, Sam's built a lot of engines. He's the guy to talk to on this matter. This is bread and butter. Blast that with a bit of air. Yeah, there we have it. One clean piston. So you can see the scuff marks there. Obviously clean on the import side. Inlet, sorry, not import. Inlet and outlet. Well, looking a damn sight better than it was before. But like I said, I'll just wait for Sam's final word on the clean-up job, how much more to sand it, if any. And then we'll get the bearings in, hone the engine, the bore, and then get it back together. Woohoo! Right guys, I'll see you later.